Hi viewers, in this video I am going to explain Sea Reading The Never Never Nest written by Cedric Mount. This chapter is in the textbook Our World Through English, Class 10, Unit 3, Sea Reading The Never Never Nest is actually a one-act play. In short, for staging the drama The Never Never Nest, the entire script has given for Sea Reading. In most of the dramas or plays, we can see in the bracket or additional informations may be there, just the introduction of the scenes, how stage setting should be. Anyway, in this play, The Never Never Nest, we can see the characters Jack, Jill. Jill is the wife of Jack. So probably both they are husband and wife, Jack and Jill. Nurse and Aunt Jane. When curtain rises, let's see how stage setting and scenes introduced to you. The log of Jack and Jill's villa at New Hampstead. The essential furniture consists of a table on which are writing materials and two chairs. As the curtain rises, the log is empty, but Jack and Jill come immediately, followed by Aunt Jane. So here log means living room, especially the area where the guests are entering in a house. So such a house room is there in the opening scene of the play, and probably it is a room and a house of Jack and Jill, and there one another visitor came, that is Aunt Jane, and when curtain rises we can see some furniture, a table, various essential items for a house only kept there in the stage. Immediately Jack and Jill entered and followed by Aunt Jane. Jill. And this is the log. So log here means living room or special room, especially when guests are there, we will welcome them to that living room. Aunt Jane. Charming, charming, such a cozy little room and such a pretty furniture. Jack. Modestly. We like it, handy place to sit in and listen to the radiogram. Aunt Jane. Oh, have you got a radiogram? As well as a car and a piano? Jack. Why, of course, Aunt Jane. You simply must have a radio set nowadays. So Jack itself introducing the room, furniture, the place, atmosphere, everything. His own villa means small house. He is saying and introducing the comfortable place to listen a radiogram or radio system. We can relax here in this room. Such a beautiful room is this, likewise stating. And by seeing all this, the room, the decoration, everything, Aunt Jane says that even though it is very much comfortable, the room is very much comfortable and charming, very much delightful, looking very much nice. But you have this radiogram also, piano you have, all the things what he has asked by who, this Aunt Jane. She is clarifying that you have owned by car, piano, radiogram, all these modern items you have. For all these things, maybe much cost may be there. Jill is the wife of Jack. She says that, and it's so nice for me when Jack's away at business. I even make him move it into the kitchen so that I can listen to it while I cook. So whenever I am cooking, whenever Jack is not at home, I usually take this radiogram to the kitchen and I am listening and cooking food from there. So this Jack and Jill is suggesting to this Aunt Jane, you also buy one radiogram that is essential. Jack, sit down, Aunt Jane. You must be tired, and we have shown you everything now. So, maybe, probably, the entire atmosphere of that new villa or new house is shown by that two couple, and they might be entered that living room at last, maybe by seeing all these rooms, the decorations, furniture, the arrangement of that new house, everything they have seen, and suggested to that Aunt Jane, you sit and relax. Maybe you may tired, so let's speak from here. Jill, what do you think of our little nest, Aunt Jane? So here nest shows that new house itself. Aunt Jane, I think it's wonderful, my dears. The furniture and the car and the piano and the refrigerator and the radio. What's it? It's wonderful, really wonderful. Anyway, we have understood that Aunt Jane visited that villa, new house, that day. She has seen the entire arrangement of that house. She has noticed the piano, car, all the new items, refrigerator, everything, furnitures, everything she has noticed. And now let's see what's next. Jack. And we owe it all to you. So, owe means be in debt. So, debt means here from Aunt Jane, this Jack and Jill has took some money. So with that money, they have bought all these new items. So in short, actually they are living in a posh way, even though they don't have much salary or savings. They are utilizing their money in a big manner, in a posh manner. They don't want to save for future. They are simply spending money for buying all the necessary items. Actually, this the Never Never Nest is a comic one-act play about that two young couple who are the Jack and Jill, who makes full use of the buy now, pay later. Such marketing systems are there in our present situation or present scenario. By monthly installment, nowadays our youth are buying a lot of homely appliances even, but at last they can't manage to solve all this money at a particular point. So in short, as a wedding gift, this Aunt Jane has signed a check and given to this newly wedded couple that was around £200 as a check only. But that time she thought that they might be use this money or this check in a useful manner. Maybe they will save this money as fixed deposit and later they will use, like this she thought. But Jack itself said that, and we owe it all to you. From her money only, they have bought all these things. So Jack said such a way, Aunt Jane, yes, Jack, that's what's worrying me. Jack, worrying you, Aunt Jane? Aunt Jane, yes, that check I have you for your wedding present. It was only £200, wasn't it? I didn't put 2000 by mistake. Actually, she began in a wonder whether she has wrongly signed 2000 instead of 200. Likewise, she is clarifying because they have spent a lot of money that day itself for like a Porsche. Actually, this is happening in our day to day life. Our nuclear family, our new families in our society want to buy a lot of things. Even though they don't know what was their real money, they will buy all the things extra than their money. That means they have a desire to buy everything and will give or close the installments later. Like this, they are thinking and behaving like this. Jill, why now, Aunt Jane? What on earth made you think that? Aunt Jane, well, that's all right, but I still don't altogether understand. This house, it's very lovely, but doesn't it cost a great deal for rent? Next question. Your house, all the furniture, all the home appliances, everything is nice, but this house not looks very cheap. I think that you are giving daily or monthly more rent. Like this next dialogue by Jane. Jack, rent? Oh no, we don't pay rent. So Jack said that we are not giving rent. So next dialogue by Jane. But Jack, if you don't pay rent, you will be turned out into the street. So if you are not giving rent, might be the house owner will send you outside this house, and you might be stay at street only. And that would never do. You have Jill and the baby to think of now. So by hearing, Aunt Jane became surprised. They are not regularly giving rent such a way said. So immediately Aunt Jane said that don't be do like that. You have wife, a baby. If you are not paying regularly rent, you will be outside. Maybe you will stay at street. So don't do like this. So again, Jack is clarifying. No, no, Aunt Jane, you misunderstood me. We don't pay rent because the house is ours. Aunt Jane, yours? Jill, why? Yes, you just pay £10 and it's yours. So in short, for £10, they have purchased or bought this new villa. Jill, why is you just pay £10 and it's yours? If you are giving £10, if you have that money, you can buy. Jack, you see, Aunt Jane, we realized how uneconomic it is to go on paying rent year after year when you can buy and enjoy a home of your own for £10 and a few quarterly payments. Of course, why be Mr. Tenant when you can be Mr. Owner? So, like an installment, they are living actually £10 they have given as a token advance. After that, in a monthly or yearly 3 or 2 times only, they are giving a bulk of amount. So, such a way we can live instead of a tenant, we can be a Mr. Owner, like we suggesting by Jack. On Jane, I see. Yes, there's something in that. Even so, you must be getting on very well to keep up a place like this. Jill. Oh, he is Aunt Jane. Why only last year he had a 5 shilling rise, didn't you, Jack? Jack, modestly. Of course, that was nothing. Really, I am expecting 10 this Christmas. On Jane, suddenly, Jack, I have just thought of something. That car, is it yours? Jill, of course it's ours. Aunt Jane, all yours. Jack, well, no, not exactly all. Aunt Jane, how much of it? Jill, oh, I should say the steering wheel and one of the tires and about two of the cylinders. But don't you see, that's the wonderful thing about it. Aunt Jane, I don't see anything wonderful about it. Actually, then Aunt Jane slowly understood that Jack and Jill had everything, but nothing really belonged to them. They bought everything they had on installment basis only. Only a steering wheel of a car, a wheel and two cylinders had been paid for. Still now that much only paid. A bulk of amount is remaining to pay in a installment way or monthly. But there is, Aunt Jane, you see, although we could never buy a car outright, We can enjoy all the pleasures of motoring for a mere £5 down on Jane, and the rest of by easy installments, I suppose. Jill, exactly. On Jane, exactly. And what about the radio? What's it? Jack. Well, that's the on Jane. And the piano? Jill. Well, of course, on Jane. And the furniture? Jack. I am afraid so. On Jane. I suppose all you own is this leg. She points to one. Jill. Well, no. As a matter of fact, it's that one. She points to another. On Jane. And the rest belongs to Mr. Sage, I suppose. Jill. Yes. On Jane. Well, I am not going to sit on Mr. Sage's part for anyone. She stands up. Now tell me, how much do all these installments come to? Jack. Well, actually, he takes out his pocketbook and consults it. With the help of a small diary in his pocket, he calculated everything and said that actually to £7, 8 and 8 pence a week. So our Aunt Jane realized this fact. All the things that they have right now is not theirs fully. All the things in a small amount only they started to give like an installment. A bulk of amount is remaining for giving. So every week they have to spend £7, 8 and 8 £7 8 and 8 pence a week. On Jane, good heavens! And how much do you earn? Jack, as a matter of fact, that is £6. So £6 only monthly our Jack is getting, but in a week, Jack and Jill have to pay more than 8 or £7, near to £7 to £8 they have to give in a week for this all installments on Jane. But that's absurd. Absurd means meaningless. What is the meaning of that? That type of posh lifestyle. How can you pay £7, 8 and 8 pence out of £6? Jack. Oh, that's easy. You see, all you have to do is to borrow the rest of the money for the payments from the Thrift and Providence Trust Corporation. So here, good heavens is actually a good phrase for expressing some surprise moments. Actually, they are planning to take some loans above loans, its interest. All this will come as a burden, but they are not thinking about that in the future. They planned to buy all the things and they will take loan and slowly they will give. Such a way they are thinking, such a lifestyle who has Jack and Jill. So Jill, they are only too glad to loan you any amount you like, or not of hand alone. On Jane, and how do you propose to pay that back? Jack. Oh, that's easy too. You just pay it back in installment. On Jane. Installments. She claps her hand to her forehead and sinks back weakly into the chair, then realizes that she is sitting on Mr. Sage's piece and leaps on her feet again with a little shriek. After hearing their decisions, she was opposing, Aunt Jane was opposing buying all the things on installment basis. But she was astonished when she heard that they borrowed money on installment basis for repaying all the installments from Thrift and Providence Trust Corporation. She understood that they have not earned a penny in her life. So penny is the smallest amount in that such a country, like paisa. Jack. Aunt Jane, is anything the matter? Would you like to lie down? Actually, she was thinking about the pathetic, plight situation of that family. She understood that they are in a sinking ship. Aunt Jane, lie down? Do you suppose I am going to trust myself in a bed that belongs to Mr. Sage or Marks and Spencer or somebody? No, I am going home. Actually, Aunt Jane says that you don't have a furniture even. Your furniture may be someone's, Mr. Sage or Marks or Spencer's or someone's maybe. If you having a thing by yourself or your own only, that time only I will lie down in a such a comfortable sofa or a cozy bed. Jill. Oh, must you really go? On Jane. I think I would better. Jack. I will drive you to the station. On Jane. What? Travel in a car that has only one tire and two thungies. No thank. You will I will take the bus. So here thingmi means a word used in a spoken English when the name of an object has been forgotten. So when Jack asked, "I will take you and drop you at station," Aunt Jane said that you don't have a proper car by yourself even. Such a car I will not get in. That car don't have one tire only by his own and two thingies. So two thingies something related with that part of that car. A part of the car only you having. So she rejected his offering. Jack, let's see. Well, of course, if you feel like that about it, on Jane, relenting a little. Now I am sorry if I sounded rude, but really I am shocked. Find the way you are living. I have never earned a penny in my life cash down. That's my motto, and I want you to do the same. She opens her handbag. Now look, here's a little check I was meaning to give you anyway. She hands it to Jill. Suppose you take it and pay off just one of your bills so that you can say one thing at least really belongs to you. I am now giving a 10,000 or no, £10. I am giving a £10 in this check. This small money, utilize and buy anything by yourself. At least one of the installment clear properly. Such a way, who said, Aunt Jane said. Jill, awkwardly, thank you, Aunt Jane. It's very nice of you, Aunt Jane, patting her arm. There, now I am must be going. Jack, I will see you to the bus anyway. Jill, goodbye. Aunt Jane, and thanks so much for the present. Aunt Jane, kissing her. Goodbye, my dear. She and Jack go out. Jill looks at the check and examines. She realized it was £10. Then she hurries to the table, addressing an envelope, endorses the check, and slips it inside with a bill, which she takes from the bag and seals the envelope. Then she rings the bell. In a moment, the nurse comes in with the baby in her arms. Jill. Oh, nurse, I want you to run and post this for me. I will look after the baby while you are gone. Nurse. Certainly, madam. She hands the baby to Jill, takes letter and goes. A second later, Jack comes in again. So after sending Aunt Jane, Jack entered that living room. Jack. Well, she's gone. What a tartar. Still, she did leave us a bit on account. How much was it? So, what was that amount on Jane given? Jill. £10. Jack. With a whistle. That's great. We can pay off the next 2 months on the car with that. Jill. I am afraid we can't. Jack. Why? Ever not? Jill. You see, I have already sent it off for something else. Nurse has just gone to post it. Jack. Well, that's all right. Who have you sent it to? Jill. Dr. Martin. Jack. Dr. Martin? What on the earth possessed you to do that? Jill, nearly in tears. So, in an angry way, Jack asked why you have given that amount to Miss Dr. Martin. Jill is now replying in a little tearful way. There, now you are going to be angry with me. Jack, I am not angry, but why waste good money on the doctor? Doctors don't expect to get paid anyway. Jill, sobbing a little. But you don't understand. Jack, understand what? Jill, why? Just one more installment and baby's really ours. She's holding out the infant a little pathetically as we black out. So last conclusion portion is little satire, ironical also. While Jack went with Aunt Jane to the bus stop, Jill sent the money to Dr. Martin by the hand of nurse. Jack came back and said that he wanted to pay 2 months installment on the car. Actually, by that amount, Jack's plan was to pay car installment only 2 months. But Jill said that by paying the money to Dr. Martin, their baby would become completely theirs. So that means they have still some pending amount at the hospital for the birth situation, birth time of that child. They not clearly paid the amount to doctor and hospital. Might that may be the reason she has given that amount to Mr. Dr. Martin. The end of the play is actually, in a way, it is ironical. Though it is an exaggeration, the play is really a satire on the materialistic bent of the modern man. At the last of the play, we can see Aunt Jane has told them by this amount they have to pay at least one installment. So she was thought about that. Who? Mother. Who's that mother? Jill thought about that, and she thought that she understood that she has to pay that hospital bill or doctor fees. The installment, the baby could be there on such a way. Who thought by closing that installment, the doctor's amount, at least this baby is there on. Likewise, only thought by Jill. At last moment, we can see to the audiences also a small sympathetic feel will get in the minds of the audience. So, in short, buying all the things in an installment basis, it will weakness our financial status, and we have to pay more amount towards the interest. It will leads to financial crisis as well as our mental tensions, our health problems, everything will rises.